Okay, stop what you're doing right now, because what just happened in the last few hours is going to affect every single one of us. Your gas, your groceries, your bills, everything. Iran just hit the world's biggest oil field, and oil prices have hit $400 a barrel. $400. Let that sink in for a second. So here's what happened, and I'm going to break this down super simply because honestly, this is a lot to take in. Saudi Arabia has this oil field called Ghawar. Now, if you've never heard of it, that's okay. Most people haven't. But trust me, you need to know what this place is. Ghawar is not just any oil field. It is the oil field, the biggest one on the entire planet. It pumps out around 5 to 6 million barrels of oil every single day, just from one place, one field in the Saudi desert. Think about that. One oil field, roughly 5% of everything the whole world uses every day, gone. And Iran just hit it. Now here's where it gets even crazier, because it didn't just randomly bomb an oil well out in the desert. No, they targeted something called Aramco. And this is the scary part. Aramco is basically the factory where all that oil gets cleaned and processed before it goes anywhere. Before it gets onto a tanker. Before it crosses the ocean. Before it becomes the fuel in your car or the plastic in your water bottle, it has to go through Aramco first. 7% of the world's entire daily oil supply passes through that one facility. And right now, it's not working. So what happens when 7% of the world's oil just stops? Prices go insane. And that's exactly what we're seeing. Within minutes, I mean literally minutes of the news breaking, traders started panicking. London, New York, Tokyo. Every major market at the same time, prices started climbing and they did not stop. $100 a barrel, then $150, then $200, and then $400. People in trading rooms were just staring at their screens because nobody, and I mean nobody, was prepared for this number. This was always the what-if scenario, the nightmare on paper, the thing experts talked about in risk reports that nobody really thought would actually happen. Well, it happened. And here's the thing that really got me when I was reading through all of this. Saudi Aramco, that's the company that runs all of this, they released a statement, and they were very careful with their words, very calm, very corporate. But when you read between the lines, you can feel how serious this is. They didn't say, we'll be back online tomorrow. They didn't give a timeline. They said, assessment teams are being deployed. Updates to follow. In energy world language, that's basically saying, we don't know how bad this is yet. And look, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, okay, this is happening over there. What does this have to do with me? Everything. Literally everything. The gas you put in your car, the food that was driven to your supermarket in a truck, the flight you've been saving up for, the heating in your house this winter, all of it runs on oil. All of it is now getting more expensive by the hour. This is not a Middle East problem. This landed on everyone's doorstep this morning. Yours, mine, everyone's. Now, Iran hasn't come out and directly said, yeah, we did it. But their military commentators have been pretty, let's say, obvious about it, talking about consequences, talking about Saudi Arabia's role in actions against Iranian interests. They're not denying it. They're just not signing their name on it. Classic move. Send the message. Keep the door open. And now the big question everyone is asking, what happens next? Does Saudi Arabia hit back? Does the U.S. get involved? Does anyone try to close the Strait of Hormuz, that tiny stretch of water where 20% of the world's oil passes through every single day? Because if that closes, $400 a barrel is going to look cheap. Nobody knows the answer right now. Governments are in emergency meetings. The White House. European energy ministers. Asian governments who depend on this oil to literally keep their countries running. Everyone is scrambling. This is one of those moments that you're going to remember. Where you were when you heard about it, what you were doing. Because the world looks a little different tonight than it did this morning, and it's going to keep changing fast. So if you want to stay ahead of this, if you want to understand what's coming next before it hits your wallet, subscribe right now. Hit that bell, because I'm going to be updating the story as it develops, and you do not want to miss what comes next. Drop a comment below. What do you think happens next? Does this escalate? Does someone blink first? Let's talk about it.